and your parents will want to see you in one way, and they'll have created a character that they want you to be, and you can live up to that. Certainly you're in a role as a father or as a husband or a partner. That's another role, if you see what I mean. That's sort of affected by someone else, but good mates it's a different thing, or it should be.
Makes perfect sense. Makes absolute sense. And there's a lot you've given us there already for how we can start to make sense of and start to take control over those three critical core areas of life. I know there's a lot more we could talk about. Time's moving on. A quick question, and this is one which can be debated for months, but I have to ask you, because we're talking about man and modern men and so on. What do you think, or where do you see the concept of alpha male in all of this? Is it a concept that exists, do you believe? And if so, how does that kind of fit in with the whole ethos of modern man?
So I believe in the concept of alpha male. Lots of people don't. I think it is. I think the reason why people don't buy into the concept of alpha male is because alpha male is seen as a really positive sort of thing, or maybe not a positive thing. It's seen as an alpha thing, like a top of the pile type thing, but it comes with its own problems. And then people think, well, I don't believe in alpha males because I know I'm not one, and therefore if I'm not one, I don't think they can exist, because that means I would have to admit that I'm a beta or something like that. And that's a real shame, because there's nothing wrong with not being an alpha. Being an alpha is a really tough job for a lot of people. And they're not usually, most of them, the true alpha males I know, are not particularly happy, because they have this burden of leadership and decisiveness and having to, support people and pull people through and always having to show up and be on their game. And they're immensely driven and all of this sort of stuff, which comes with its own problems, Mm. And then they're not anyone without the backup, without the team, without the family. They can't exist. They've got no one to lead or sort of manage and help and support unless there's other people around them. So I think there's a place for alpha, but maybe we should spend sort of time talking about what the other positions in a society or in a group context are, and give those credit and give them as much value as they deserve. And then maybe people will be a bit more accepting that there are these sort of these personality types, and one is not any better than the other, and it's certainly nothing to sort of aspire to. You kind of either are or you aren't. I think you can pick up traits and you can learn how to sort of mimic and do stuff which can be useful, but yeah, I think it's something that comes very naturally.
Interesting. All right. So if I understand you correctly, or if I understood what your position is, that alpha males exist. It's not something to which we should all aspire. If you're not an alpha male, it doesn't mean anything. It's just that they're a category of person, just as we've got dozens of categories in any field you might look at. It's just another personality type, I guess. And if one is alpha, well and good. If one's not alpha, well and good.
And there's also a lot of misunderstanding about it. People have various different ideas of what alpha really is, and they tend to be, I think, way off the mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is something that we're going to be sort of doing a lot more work on. Certainly I am, and a lot more studying and understanding. Definitely an area that I need to I'm fascinated with, because when you say masculine, even the word, or you talk about men and maleness, it's a question that pops up all the time, and it seems to be the sort of pinnacle of what that is. And I really want to make sure that I can get the language to explain it, that it isn't, that masculinity is a spectrum,
Yeah. Got it. Brilliant. Well, we're coming toward the end of our allotted time slot here. I want to thank you, Fidel, for taking the time out to join me on this. I've certainly learned a lot here. I've taken about a page of notes. I know everyone listening will have learned a lot. A lot of people are going to want to find out more, or going to want to be able to get in touch. What's kind of the best way for them to find out more, or to get in touch, or just learn a bit more about all this stuff?
Yeah, well, the best way to get in touch with me is on the website, themodernman.org.uk. And from there, you'll find links to the Facebook group, and you'll find my contact details as well, and a little bit more about the programs that we run, and the sort of philosophy and the plans that we've got for the movement and the community.
Brilliant. So that's www.modernman, all one word, .org.uk. And they can find out a lot more about you and what's going on, and a lot more about the movement, and they can get involved in whatever way feels best for them. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Look forward to hearing from them.
Awesome.
Thank you, Keith.
Well, thank you.
We could have carried on. We could have carried on, couldn't we? We could have waffled on for a couple more hours at least.
We certainly could. We probably will at some other point, because I know there's lots of things we could come back and cover here. But for now, thank you so much for taking the time, Fidel. I really appreciate that. Anyone who wants to find out more about Fidel, about the Modern Man, wants to get involved, again, that website, check out the website, modernman.org.uk. You'll find a wealth of information there. You'll find out about some of his Facebook groups. I'm in some of those groups as well, so I know there's a lot you're going to get out of it. And that's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, until next time, take care, look after yourself, and remember that change is always possible. And when you change your mind, you change your life. Bye for now.
You've been listening to the Confidence Alchemist radio show with your host, the Confidence Alchemist himself, Keith Blakemore Noble. To find out more, visit theconfidencealchemist.com.